we talked about edge rushers. I know a guy that he's, we call it Dunstradamus on the show before. And JD had predicted that by training camp, we would be seeing some edge rushers coming in. We talked about Carlos Dunlap. We talked about JPP. JPP is not the name I'm going to bring up tonight, but I'm bringing up Carlos Dunlap as one of them. And tweet as of 2 hours ago on Wednesday night, Josina Anderson had tweeted, just spoke to free agent Carlos Dunlap on a layover in Atlanta on his way to visiting the Chiefs. Dunlap says he may visit with KC late tonight or start his visit tomorrow. Carlos Dunlap also told me he's looking for the team with the right fit. He's already met with the Panthers. He said Seahawks told him they'd like to leave the door open. Dunlap noted conversations heated with Kansas City Tuesday, leading to his rapidly scheduled visit to now. So that's one guy. The other guy that we are bringing in today, I don't know how that meeting went. I haven't heard anything, but supposedly on Wednesday night, he was supposed to be meeting with, it was USFL's defensive end and Houston Gamblers defensive end Chris Odom. He was the USFL sack leader this past season with 12.5 sacks. If you watch his tape, I mean, you can just see getting to the quarterback. I mean, that's him. That's his job. That's what he does. He looked good. He's visited with a bunch of teams, hasn't signed yet, but he was supposed to visit with the Chiefs today. So I don't know how that goes. But talk about Carlos Dunlap. Talked about him on the show before. Carlos Dunlap. I think he's 33, I believe, 32 or 33. He had 8.5 sacks last year, which would have been second on our team behind Chris Jones with 9. Carlos Dunlap, I think, had, if you look at the last 2 years of Frank Clark, I think last year's Carlos Dunlap sack total would have only been like 1 sack less than Frank Clark's last 2 years. But anyway, we talked about bringing in edge rushers. Now we are doing that. What you said is coming to fruition for us. Probably by tomorrow, maybe or Thursday, we'll have a new edge rusher in here. So what do you make of the Chris Odom possibly bringing in, and what do you also make of Carlos Dunlap? And would you be surprised if we brought in both guys?
No, not at all. Hold on, let me hear how you do it. Is it the Dunstradamus, or what do we call it?
Dunstradamus.
Dunstradamus, there it is, right here. Yeah, the prediction. Hey, I'm telling you, man. I already knew this. You start a training camp, you see what guys are going to do, who you have, who you got. But you needed a guy in here, a dynamic guy. You need another guy in here who has some ability, that can go and get the football, who has played in the league for some time, that still has some sacks still in him. And so Carlos Dunlap gives you that. And I think, like I said, at the beginning of the camp, like I said, nobody wants to come in. Hey, he's like, all right, let me know when camp's supposed to be. Let me know when I'm supposed to be here. All right. I'll come in and slough in, somewhere first or second day, do a little workout. And so here we are. Here we are. And so I think it'd be great to get Carlos Dunlap here. I think it'd give a lot what the Chiefs need as far as like a veteran presence. It's going to give, a little bit of work. And also, too, he might light a fire under some of these other guys out here. Maybe shoot Frank Clark, maybe, I don't know. So we'll see. It just, you said 10 sacks in 2 years, 10 and a half?
Let me the exact number. I believe it was 10 in the last 2 years.
Jeez.
Frank Clark, 10 and a half over the last 2 years, and Dunlap had 8.5 just last year alone.
Okay. Yeah. So you get a guy like that in here, man. I mean, you could see the production already going up in the individual. So, why not get him in here? And then the other guy, you said Chris Odom. And I don't really know too much about this guy. I haven't seen any film on him. I haven't really watched any of the USFL games. I haven't. But if that's what he does, 12.5 sack, and that's what his job is, to go get the football, go get the quarterback. We need a pass rusher here. We need a pass rusher here that's going to help out the young guy that we just drafted in Karlaftis. He's going to help him out tremendously. And so you can't never have enough of those guys. Just can't never have enough of those guys. So can you sign both of them? Absolutely. Absolutely. And so defensively, when you go into these defensive rooms, the same thing, evaluation. You could give guys opportunities. It's like, look, we ain't got pads on. What are guys doing without pads on? If guys didn't get back into the quarterback without pads on, when you put the pads on, you might as well forget it. Like this guy ain't gonna make it. Okay. Like, Coach, we done everything. I don't know what you need to do. This guy right here, he ain't gonna cut it. So you bring two guys like that in, man. It's gonna help out the defense. You need some pass rushers in here. We've been looking for pass rushers. Hopefully, these two guys are here with the Chiefs after it's all said and done to help out the defense. And I think that's what we need. We need just a little bit more of a stellar pass rush to kind of make this defense whole. I think that's what I'm looking for. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a funny tweet from Carrington Harrison, one of the Chiefs reporters, and he had a funny one. It was like, well, and I want to get the exact. I don't want to mess up what his tweet was, but it's kind of what I was thinking too. It was like, you know, it was like whatever the coaching staff saw, immediately they wanted to bring it home. He said. The Chiefs saw one practice from the D line and called for help immediately. Is what he said.
Tommy, you need him. Come on, bring him in.
Well, it's kind of what we talked about like months ago, or during minicamp when we were like, because Clark wasn't there, and we were like, okay, well, we haven't heard anything about Kane Doe or anybody there. And today, because Clark was not playing because he had an illness today. I mean, he was there, but he didn't play because he didn't practice because of some illness or that he's going through. Because he was there after practice going through some moves with Karlaftis, which was cool to see. But Mike Dana was the one who stood in his place at the DN spot. But like we said, we didn't hear anything about Dana. We didn't hear anything about Kane Doe during the mini camp. There was no one was like saying anything about another edge rusher. So it's like, okay, that's kind of problematic here. And then now we get to today. It's like, okay, Clark is out again. This time, you know, he's got the illness. Last time his wife was in labor. And so it's like, okay, well, obviously we're gonna need some guys, some bodies in there because we can't deal with you know, having Clark out possibly during the season with an illness or whatever kind of injury happens, you know. But like, I think it's pretty clear that we needed this edge rusher, and we didn't need to see that there was nothing going on during training camp today to know that we needed to bring another body in.
Hey man, you need look. You need some fresh blood in here. I'm sorry. You're gonna need some fresh blood in here who is not friends with everybody. Yeah. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Now, sometimes it can happen. Sometimes those young guys could be in all like Frank Clark and all these other guys that maybe they're not competing like they should. You need some fresh blood, fresh meat in here who don't give a crap about none of that. Right? Seriously. Like the dude, Chris Odom, come in like, look, I'm just trying to make the team. I'm trying to get mine. So if that has to be it, so be it. Let me come and compete. I'm trying to take his job. Y'all pay this guy, you know, a boatload of money, and you know, this is what y'all got. I'm here to compete. So hopefully Frank's seeing that and he likes to, you know, something fire up underneath him. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But man, we need some fresh blood in here. We do. I'm just telling you, we need that competition. You need it, man. Yeah. Competition absolutely will kill complacency. It will kill it. So we can't be complacent where you're at. And some of these young guys, like I said, I don't know. So I don't want to say too much. You know, there's a conversation about different things here and there.
Yeah.
I will say this, which I find fascinating, but I see sometimes some people's points, some of the people out here talking, is part of the reason they don't want to pay Orlando Brown Jr. is because of Frank Clark's deal. Yeah. Let's just be honest. I'm going there with it because that's the truth. Okay. Because you hear so much of it. Like, oh, we paid Frank this amount of money, $20 million, and you see what he got out of him. Why should we pay this guy a whole lot of money and he might get hurt or something like that happens? Yeah. Orlando Brown Jr. he's getting screwed because of Frank Clark. That's part of it. Hey, I'm just going to be honest. Yeah. We're gonna have a conversation. We're going to talk. We're going to be real on Chiefs concern. Okay? Yeah. I'm just going to say it. So that's part of the issue while people are saying it. And they have some validity in it. There's some validity, right? Because you don't know what you're going to get a guy. Because sometimes we hear this all the time. I know it's while I was playing. Sometimes some guys make big bucks, then they kind of sit on their laurels, right? They sit back after they made the money. They didn't got fat with the money. You don't know how guys are going to act. Yeah. So this thing happens. It happens in the NFL. I don't know if that would happen with Orlando Brown Jr. I don't know. But I know this is a thing. I just had to say it because it's just been on my mind. I'm like, I hear people talking about it all the time. It's the Frank Clark deal that has burnt everybody else out here trying to get a long-term deal and trying to get some money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's no production. If you're not getting the production of the money you're getting paid, then you're getting screwed. That's how they feel. So,
and that's probably why Veach is not. I mean, and I'll say that the deal he gave Orlando Brown was pretty fair. I mean, we talked about was that deal not Orlando Brown's taste, but like based on the way he's played, that's a pretty fair deal for Orlando Brown as of right now. Not giving him a deal based on potential, but right now the deal they gave him was pretty fair for what Orlando Brown is right now. But I think Veach is kind of, he knows that everyone is thinking of the whole Frank Clark thing, so he's not quick on the trigger as he was the Frank Clark thing, because he knows how that's gonna live with his resume for the rest of his life. Is that the deal he gave Frank Clark?
Right, and yeah, I'm sure he is in the back of his mind. This is coming up to him. I know he's thinking about this, right? I mean, it has to be on his mind, and so he's probably being reminded of it in the paper every single day. Somebody is saying something about that deal.
Yeah,
but look, we could say. Look, we know the deal that the Chiefs gave Orlando Brown Jr., it wasn't top left tackle deal. He wasn't going to be the highest paid left tackle. Everybody keeps saying it, but it wasn't. That's not how that's what on paper it made it seem like that, but it wasn't going to be that, right? You know what I'm saying? It was like the same thing. Like I guess they ended up giving Kelce, a little signing bonus today, like $3 million on the guys that did a great job. Who's that? What's that show I told you about? I was talking about those guys. I was on their space today. I was like,
Coast to Coast, Aaron Ladd and Mark Gunnels.
Yeah. So they said that. I heard that. I was like, oh, okay, it's a good deal. Yeah. But hey, man, Veach is like, look, I'm not giving out no more free lunches out here. I can't do it. I cannot do it. It's not going to be my legacy. From this point on, hey, if you want something from me, you want some credit, you want some money, you want to go somewhere else with it. Yeah. I'll give you something I think is fair. Okay. But you're not going to break the bank on me.
Yeah.
Somebody did it to me and they screwed me. I'll be daggone if I'm going to sit here and get screwed by a few other guys.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, hey, he struck gold on a lot of the bargain type guys he's brought in as far as edge rushers. He did with Melvin Ingram last year. He did with Emmanuel Ogbah 2 years ago. And I think he thinks he can do this with maybe getting a guy like Carlos Dunlap to come in for this year. And maybe even bring Chris Odom as well. So we can get two guys.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, shoot, if you can get two guys, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Get a basement bargain deal. If you can do it, do it. But these guys will be able to bring something, add something to the table on defense. And I think we definitely need that. We need that for the defense. We need that for the guys in the secondary, to play optimal football. I mean, that's reality. We have to. And so, like I said, I don't care who you are. You can't cover guys all day if you can't get back there to the quarterback. You can't just leave it on Chris Jones all day, to try to do it. Hey, Chris, come on, make a play. Mm-hmm. No, we need these other guys out here, the rookie, Karlaftis. He's going to do a good job. I think he's going to do really well. I think he's going to have a lot of sacks, but he needs somebody else to help him.
Yep.
So when you have somebody else on the other side, shoot, then he can perform like he needs to. He can perform and be that guy that you drafted. If you don't,
yeah, and I bring
a long season for him too.
And I think bringing in Dunlap, it fulfills that whole veteran presence, another vet to have in there, like the Ingram role. But also on top of that, you bring in Chris Odom, that fills another hungry type guy. Because we talked about the small school hunger guy. We're talking about a USFL guy.
Right.
That's very hungry. That guy wants to make his money in the league. That guy will play his ass off. Also small school guy. He went to Arkansas State. So that's a small school, and the guy coming from a USFL, that's a hungry guy who you'd want to have as an edge rusher. And that's a perfect position to have a hungry guy at. That's
right, man. Absolutely. Shoot. Come on. Like I said, sometimes when I said that before about the your stomach don't hit your back. Your stomach don't hit your back. I mean, you're not hungry no more. Mm. That's what is lost in some of these guys out here. Okay. Yeah. So this guy who's coming in, who's got that hunger, his stomach hits his back. He's just got a little taste of some filet mignon, some great steak, a nice cut. He wants more of it, baby.
Yeah.
You know, he wants some lobster, give him the whole deal. The smorgasbord of just, you know, top stuff to eat. Just give it to him. Let him eat. Let him eat. Bring him in. So I hope he signs here. Let me put it that way. Hope he signs.
I hope so too. Yeah. He's a guy like that, you know, like the guys who come from the XFL, the USFLs, the AAF, I believe the other league was, or CFL even. Those guys, I mean, a veteran minimum, they would love the veteran minimum. That would make their career right there. Give them the veteran minimum that gives them that taste of something, and they're gonna play their ass off for that veteran minimum. So having a guy like that, whether he makes the 53 man or not, that's gonna push all the other edge rushers in that room to work double, you know, work even harder, right? I mean, that's how that works, right?
Well, of course, but also too, what you've done is you've given this guy an opportunity he's been waiting for,
right,
to perform. And so he's like, man, this is my shot. This is my shot. Where, like you said, I was getting paid in the USFL, I get league, you know, vet minimum, and now I have a chance to, I don't know, get 10 sacks a year. Then I could get paid maybe $6 or $7 million a year. Sign me up. Sign me up. Matter of fact, it's like, man, just put me on the team. I don't even care. Don't give me no pads. I don't need no pads. I'll bring my own pads. Shoot, I'll manufacture myself if I need to. And I'll go out there and I can show you what I can do. So that's hunger, man. You need that competition. And it should drive guys in the room. Because the reality is when guys start coming in, okay, that look like you and they have the same build, they're there to replace you.
Yep.
These young guys may not understand that, but they will. They are going to find out real quick. Okay. Just because you was drafted and somebody has you said you have potential, what have you done for me lately? What have you done? And if you haven't been doing anything, you haven't been showing me nothing, guess what? You're going to get a one-way bus pass or airplane ticket out of the place. So I'm going to see you later. Thank you. Oh, well, no, you had your opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, man, it happens all the time in the NFL. And so if you got a guy like that coming in, watch your back.
Yeah.
Shoot.
And I love that. I think I love the guys who are coming over from other leagues and coming to the NFL and like making some of themselves. Because in the springtime, this guy he played that league so he could get noticed, so he could try to make to the big leagues in the fall. And you know, if that happens for this guy to come with us, I'd love it. I'd love that story.
Yeah, shoot. Why not? He don't need a rest.
Yeah.
He'll rest tomorrow. He'll rest next year. He'll rest 5 years from now.
Yeah.
You got work to do. I'm here to earn some money.
Yeah.
This is all business for him. So shoot.
Yeah, it's a business. It's business and personal. You know, we're talking about life changing money. You talk about you have a good year this year, you make $5 million next year, you make $3 million next year. Life changing, generational changing money right there.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. And so when you see guys that was there and they're not performing to what they, you know, what their ability is, what they thought it was, their potential, skedaddle.
Yeah.
See you. Appreciate it. You know. Oh well.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Odom when you watch his film after the show.
I had to check him out, man. I didn't see it.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.